Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of For What It's Worth. We're here again today. I'm excited. And we're going to share opinion. I'm so excited about this topic. I know it might not be your excitement, but there's a reason why I'm excited. We're going to talk about the comeback of Myspace. So excited. Okay. So, Myspace started in 2003.
Which I wouldn't know. I was born in 2004, so I missed this little train, which is part of the reason why I'm excited about it, because I've never experienced MySpace.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. I also didn't have a phone. Like, my parents were not like, here you go, iPhone at 10. Like, we just didn't do that. I had a
which
little,
makes sense.
I had a little red flip phone for a little while, and every time I would drop it on the ground, it would all fall apart.
Oh,
I had that type of thing. It was great. I miss that, to be honest. But yeah.
My first cell phone was 2003, I believe. So I had just graduated high school. So I was in college. So for those who don't know, MySpace was prior to Facebook. Facebook hadn't come out yet. And again, for those who don't know, MySpace really kind of started from a music. Like it was really cool. You had your page and you could have like a theme song that played when people went to your page, and you had your top people on your page. And so it was a social media platform, right? And it was really sad. It went away really quick. And you know, we've seen the evolution of different social media platforms, as you've seen even, you know. But what was interesting about MySpace in particular was it died. Like, Facebook killed it. You know, it was just gone. Where, like, you know, Instagram came and Snapchat came and TikTok came, but Facebook is still alive and well, especially, you know, central Minnesota. Facebook's still, like I said, thriving. But MySpace was just gone. Like, and so it was a very interesting time where it just went away. And what was also interesting was, and I don't know, you wouldn't remember this either, but Facebook actually started where you had to have a college email address. So it wasn't like just anyone could have that one either. And so I was kind of looking into it because I was kind of curious, like, why did MySpace die? Like, why was it just all of a sudden gone? And I think it was just Facebook marketed correctly, and Facebook just charged it and hit the market, and it was just too big of a competitor.
Well, and it felt exclusive because of that, like, kind of you felt like you were in like a little club. You were the like in person that got to be in Facebook, so it kind of had its own little niche in that way. So me personally, I'm excited. That's my opinion about this, but I want to tie it into, you know, why is it a big deal? It's millennials, right? Which is me, born, 1981-ish to 96?
96-ish? Yeah, right in there. So I'm early millennial, a little bit on that end too. But I would say in marketing right now, that is the hottest marketing right now, is nostalgia with millennials, because we are hitting our peak. Us millennials, I can say we, are hitting our peak with spending power and where we're at within our careers and having that disposable income, things like that. And so marketing to those millennials right now is more important than ever. So to bring that MySpace back and let us millennials feel this nostalgia is huge.
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think it's just interesting because all anyone really wants to talk about is Gen Z and how are we going to get Gen Z and get them involved in stuff. And so this to me feels like a very purely let's go back a little bit and kind of hit that thing that's really important to millennials. And I think the really cool thing is, like, the more I learn about MySpace, the more I realize how much those little like pieces of it are scattered throughout, because now Instagram does a thing where you can put a song in your bio and stuff like that. And so, like, there is that, like, they're taking those little shards of it and picking it up and putting it into these new platforms. But I think the most interesting thing to me is, like it was back in the day, they're making it's not going to be algorithm based. So you can't scroll and get fed a bunch of stuff after, like, Facebook learns everything about you and your social security number and everything in your whole life and then starts to push content on you. They're apparently, we'll see how it goes, not going to do that. So it's just going to be, because I think the people reviving it said, well, the internet wasn't created to be algorithms only, so they're trying to go back to that, like, very pure version.
Well, and I think that's what they're doing right. If it's successful and if it goes through how they plan is now they're hitting the nostalgia of the millennials of the MySpace in general, but they are hitting that piece that's so important to Gen Z and the younger generation of that mental health issue of that popularity and having my stuff known and having my stuff out there and having these mental health issues around that because it's so, you're so bombarded with it and so worried about it that it's caused so many mental health issues. And so I think that's such a cool way to look at it, is you're bringing the nostalgia back for the millennials, which, trust me, we think mental health is just as important, but it's definitely something that has come to light with this younger generation that I couldn't love more. But I think that that's kind of the way to do it, is take that nostalgia marketing, but tie it into something that's important with that younger generation as well.
I think it's really interesting. I just watched a movie in theaters the other day. I went and saw Spider-Man, but that's a whole nother thing.
Maybe a whole nother for what it's worth opinion there.
But one of the trailers before the movie was for the follow-up to The Social Network, which is the Mark Zuckerberg biopic, I guess. And so it's called The Social Reckoning, and it's basically about the lawsuits and the whistleblowers at Facebook. I think it is so interesting that started that. I think is it coming out later this year? I don't really know.
I'm not sure, but I've heard about it.
Yes. So those trailers that marketing's ramping up, and now all of a sudden, oh yeah, MySpace is coming back, by the way. That was so interesting to me, knowing that and then seeing that movie a couple of days ago and being like, oh yeah, that's coming out. So it's just, very coincidental or not. I don't know. We're not going to speculate about what they were planning, but I think that was just a really interesting coincidence, if so.
So I don't know. We're excited about it, which is interesting because we've talked about on this podcast before. That we are a different generation. And so that's what makes our opinions kind of fun because we're looking at it from different perspectives, but both from a marketing viewpoint. And it will be interesting to watch exactly how they market it. And I know you and I were talking a little bit before about the owners, I think it's two brothers or something, but have been quoted recently saying this new launch, which they don't have a release date yet, but this new launch of MySpace again, if it fails, we're going to do it again. They are determined. Seriously. Let's get this out there. And so it is that idea of how are they going to market it? Let's plan for it. If it doesn't work, let's keep pushing, changing it up a little bit and getting it out there. And that gets me really excited. Like I said, from a millennial, but also from a marketing standpoint to watch what works and that they're determined to figure out what's going to work to push it forward.
And I think the interesting part about this too is I think back to when everyone thought that TikTok was going to be dead in the US and it was going to be banned. And I think that the people that are reviving MySpace maybe saw that and thought, well, if people are really interested in this thing, they're going to stick around no matter how much something comes into controversy. I mean, there was a bunch of Gen Z on TikTok that was like, okay, if you shut down TikTok, we're going to go to a Chinese version of the app because we don't want to lose it. So I think they're hoping to kind of recreate that loyalty. So if something goes wrong, well, we're just going to do it again and you guys are just going to come back. So it's a resiliency thing when it comes to new social media that's doing different stuff, or old stuff, but new again.
That's the beauty. Marketing, right? So that's our 2 cents for what it's worth. So make sure you follow us. Share your opinions. We want to know your 2 cents. Make sure you follow us on your different streaming platforms so you never miss an upload from us to hear our opinion. But we always want to hear yours. So give us a follow. Let us know what you think about this. And there might be a follow-up to this in a couple weeks, couple months. Because like I said, no release date. We'll see what happens. We might have our own MySpace page next time we do this. One little thing I got to throw in there, though, I just thought of that's kind of a bummer. For my fellow millennials, I'll speak directly to you. If you had a MySpace page, it sounds like it will not be active. You will have to start over. They did lose all your data in a server migration. So RIP to my MySpace page. So
try again.
We'll see what happens.
Yes. Maybe.
So let us know what you think. We're excited to hear. Thank you for listening to us. Like I said, give us a follow. You won't miss an upload. And you can continue to hear our 2 cents for what it's worth.